Hello everybody, Dave Neal here, stand-up comic, host of Bachelor Nation News. In this video, we discuss Demi's sobriety and her warning she offers her followers for being careful if they're going to go dry January and giving up alcohol. Of course, giving up alcohol in Demi's world led to an ambulance coming, seizures, and of course she had to get treated in the hospital. So we're going to share all of this. There is a trigger warning because needles are involved. She shares photos of the needles and all that went down. But I got to tell you this. I think Demi might be the most relevant alumni from Bachelor with regards to the topics she's discussing on her social media. It ain't always the most pretty. She gives up alcohol in that she learned more about herself, that she's got autism. She's talked about neurodiversity. She's talked about, the struggle with social media. And not just the mental struggle, but making a living when the fame and fortune and the traffic that comes from Bachelor goes away. With all that said, I don't know if she's as appreciated as she should be for being uniquely her, and I think we need to embrace that more. We're going to talk about that. Follow me on Instagram at DNeals, patreon.com/DaveNeal for behind-the-scene bonus content. And when I say behind-the-scene bonus content, I mean it. I spent all day trying to upload this video that I have right here of Maddie Pruitt and Grant Trout's wedding. Now, I made a video that was 17 minutes long. It was content strucken, content strikes, it's demonetized, can't pay the ad revenue. It was so many different issues. I kept cutting it up until I was about 13 minutes long. And at the 13-minute long, it finally got approved. So you guys get to see the public version. But for the full 17-minute long version of my reaction to their absurdly decadent and over-the-top wedding video, which, by the way, was very nice. But if you want to watch that full video and see why it was demonetized and what we talked about and all that, go to patreon.com/DaveNeal. I'm sharing all of that with the behind-the-scenes crowd. I just can't share it with YouTube because it kept on getting taken down. Okay, let's get into what Demi had to say. And again, I think Demi's been done wrong in a lot of different ways by the Bachelor crowd, and I think she's had cries for help that have gone unheard, and I think we need to listen more to people like Demi as they share their struggles. Demi says this: with so many participating in dry January, I want to inform those who don't know about the dangerous effects of alcohol withdrawal. Alcohol is one of the most dangerous drugs to quit. I would know. I quit drinking cold turkey one day, July 24th, 2021, and ended up in the hospital with seizures the same day. For reference, at the time, I was drinking 3/4 of a 750 milliliter of Tito's a day, which, by the way, for somebody my size, that's like double that. That's more than I drink in a year. Pretty much. It's a lot of alcohol. Drinking has become so glamorized in our society that I worry some of us don't realize the dependence our bodies have developed on alcohol. Please be careful. If you consistently drink a bottle of wine a day and you stop drinking one day out of nowhere, you are putting your life at risk. I'm so happy to see people taking a break from alcohol, but everyone needs to be informed of how dangerous it can be. The photos when you swipe are of me in the hospital from alcohol withdrawal-induced seizures. They held me for 3 days. I was asleep for most of it. It took me 6 months to get my levels back to normal and for my brain and body to even feel normal again. I love waking up and not feeling sick. Share this information with everyone you can. It can save lives. And it's true, it can save lives. So here's the trigger warning. We're going to share the needle photos here. So there's Demi doing her thing. And there she is in the hospital, all hooked up to the monitors and stuff. Which, by the way, this might be the best looking hospital photo I've ever seen. Demi, you could literally take a hedge. I understand this is you at your bottom, but Demi's bottom is still a very beautiful photo, is my point. Just giving credit where it's due. I don't know. I think that's a good thing. So here it is with the needle. Ugh, you guys, your knees get queasy when you see needles? Ugh, I couldn't be a nurse or a doctor, anyone. Oh, geez. Oh, boy. Anyway, there it is with the different needles and regulating her. She's got the bruises from the needles and all that. So comments are generally great. She's all Bachelor, good friends. Proud of how far you've come. And we know Demi talked about the fact that the doctor, I think EMTs came. I might be getting this wrong. They came to her place. They said she'll be fine, and literally as they were leaving, she dropped having a seizure. So it's been a rough go for Demi, and by getting rid of the alcohol, it's had negative effects like the withdrawal and the weight loss. I think she's talked about the weight loss that came because she was getting all of her calories from drinking. Now she's not drinking, and there's all these other issues that emerged. But those issues are the path to you're finding your authentic self, not hiding behind alcohol, both physically, spiritually, mentally, all those things. So as we all try to improve, as I think most of us are on a day-to-day, some people might realize, hey, alcohol is not my problem. Like for me, I can have a beer here, a glass of wine there. It ain't me. My problem is sweets and sugar and the crazy cravings that I get during holiday seasons and when there's food in the house. Yeah, sure, maybe I'll have a cookie here and there, but I tell you, when I went to the Delta Lounge, the Sky Lounge, I had 3 or 4 cookies, and then and then we went from there to the to catch our flight home from Charlotte, North Carolina, and we start watching a movie. And what did your boy do? I reached down into my bag to the other 4 cookies. Hey, honey, did I have 4 or 5 cookies on the flight? She said, I don't know. Either way, I gave her 1. Maybe even only half of one. I ate her crumbs. And then Cookie Monster. I'm laughing because it's comical, but it's like, that's my addiction. And I've had to explain this to my wife and to other people because that's not their fight. Everyone's got a different fight. Your addiction might be social media. My addictions come in so many different ways that I understand when someone else has a different addiction, we minimize it. We go, oh, must be nice that your addiction's sugar. Not at all, folks. Not at all. It brain fogs me and I can't get my executive functions done and I feel frustrated and I feel a shell of who I am. I'm sure much like Demi felt that same way when she was medicating with alcohol, but you can't blame her. Her mom was in prison, just got out of prison. Her family in that sense is not where, the quote unquote a perfect family could be, and she's got bills to pay. She's struggling. The fear and anxiety that must come from being on social media and being the quote unquote villain that's always misunderstood. God damn it. You got to feel for her. You got to feel for people like this. I mean, we always say like, look out for others, but then we have people like in our plain sight right in front of us. And are we swerving out of the way and pulling over to stop and help them? So it's great that she's offering all this information. And it's great that we have these people here. But unfortunately, the conversations and the ones that are rewarded in our community, Bachelor Nation, and probably most social media communities, are the pretty photos that you share. And I think finally TikTok and other platforms are starting to reward the curiosity of people who share their skincare routine when they have breakouts and sharing the unfiltered photo. Like it's like the app Be Real. It's like the whole premise of the app Be Real is to take a photo the minute they alert you to take a photo. Look, I got an app right there. Take a photo. It was 1 hour ago. You got to take the photo to see other people's photos. There's no filters allowed. Here's who I am right now. Well, Demi's showing us this is who she is right now. This is sober Demi working on her other issues, uncovering, and I just think it needs to be applauded more than it is. The simple question, can you die from alcohol withdrawal? You bet your bottom dollar you can. Let's just look at the science of it. When your body becomes dependent on alcohol, cravings and other withdrawal symptoms appear after you stop drinking or significantly reduce your intake. In many cases, alcohol withdrawal can be mild, but in other cases, it can be severe, life-threatening. Because alcohol is a central nervous system depressant, its side effects are achieved by slowing down the brain. As your body and brain get used to this effect, changes in your drinking pattern throw you off balance. Your central nervous system becomes overexcited as it tries to restore balance. This imbalance shows through in the form of withdrawal symptoms ranging from mild to severe. And Demi is a smaller person. She's a smaller person. So the level of severity, I mean, we all just consumed Demi's content on The Bachelor. We laughed as she did whatever the show producers wanted her to do, be the villain, be this. And as Demi said when she interviewed me in her podcast, they all patted her on the head and say, good girl, Demi, good girl. What a shame that and again, I'm not saying they knew she was maybe drunk or was, or had all these other problems, but what a shame when we're done monetizing somebody else's pain. And that's exactly what the show did, because they made her the villain, the punching bag, this and that. She's just left and they go, oh, well, call our therapist if you ever need help. Good grief. So anyway, yeah, Amy Winehouse died from alcohol withdrawal. It happens all the time to people that aren't famous. Greg Giraldo Harvard graduate, very funny, very famous stand-up comedian, died of alcohol withdrawal. There's a reason during the pandemic that liquor stores were kept open because of people that do have dependency. And it doesn't mean you need to keep drinking if you have a problem. It means you need to get help. You need to be monitored if you do start to have any of the symptoms that would be withdrawal, which might mean weaning yourself off. Unlike, smoking and other addictions that you can possibly quit cold turkey, sometimes alcohol, that's not the case. I'm not a doctor. I don't know all the answers, but I love that people like Demi are sharing with her audience the truth, the pain, and the sort of the ugly side of growth. And all we can tell Demi is keep your head on, and just know that you're doing the right thing by being your authentic self, by sharing all of this. You might lose a couple followers when you talk about something, but the more you stay authentic yourself, the more the right people are going to follow and continue that journey on with you. All right, well, that's it for me. I am going to be live today at 6:45 East Coast, 3:45 Pacific. Jesse Palmer is going to be doing a Meet the Women live stream, and we're just going to watch it. So it's on TikTok at 7 p.m. East Coast, 4 p.m. Pacific, and we're going to be there 15 minutes early, share a few comments, updates with you guys. That's a public live stream for anybody who's subscribed to my YouTube channel. So all you have to do is make sure, double check you are subscribed, hit the subscribe button, and hit the little alert bell and all that jazz, and then we'll see you this afternoon. Hey, Demi, congrats on all of the authentic content you're putting out there. Keep being you. We love it. All right, see you guys in a little bit.